Good morning. Merry meet, happy fall, and Maybon season. My name is Trudy, and I'm the worship associate this morning. I go by any pronouns. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Huntington, and hello to you, those of you who are watching on Zoom or later on YouTube. Today, I invite you all to consider this changing season as we reach the end of the yearly cycle. Now is the time to reflect on our harvest of the year and consider the impact each of us has on the planet we call home. As we settle into worship, know that whoever you are, whoever you love, and wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. Our speakers today will be Terry Donaldson and Valerie Skopaz. Terry began working in our Grow to Give garden in 2015. She was inspired to take the Cornell Cooperative Extension Master Gardener course and completed her training and hours for certification in 2017. Master Gardeners are trained volunteers who work in partnership with their county cooperative extension office to expand educational outreach throughout the community by providing research-based information to home gardeners and children and youth. She has led our RE Sundays in the Grow to Give garden with the help of garden volunteers. Valerie Skopaz is a retired land use planner. After a 40-year career spent trying to integrate new development into the existing environment within the constraints of a tone-deaf regulation, she is reveling in cultivating the natural beauty of the Fellowship campus. I invite some of our RE Grow to Give garden helpers to light our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith this morning. As we honor the season of Libra today, I ask all of us to focus on the element air that connects and inspires us. We kindle this flame with the elements of the East and the intuitive binding of our symbolic covenant. Cardinal air brings the beginnings of autumn upon us. At this time, the veil is thinning and philosophy guides our thoughts towards action. Now more than ever, it is time to communicate and plan as we prepare for the end of the cycle. As the days become darker and the air becomes cooler, we must keep our hope fixed on the horizon and the promise of returning life. Please join me in saying our mission statement. The words will be on the screen. In religious community, we nurture our individual spirits through caring for one another and helping to heal the world. At this time, Moments of the Heart, you are invited to light a candle for something deep in your heart. Today's pastoral care associate, Martha, will join us at the candles in the front and has a basket for cards and joys and concerns you like to be shared with the congregation. She has blank cards and pens if you like to write something now. Please be mindful to only share your own news, share with permission, or share without names. As the music plays, I invite you to come forward or go to the candle table at the back. have 3 prayers today. There's a request for the following: light a candle for Bob, who is 93 and recently lost his wife. Thank you. Keeping Beth in my heart and mind as she recovers her strength. And some good news: congratulations to Ellie on being selected for the robotics team at school. Once again, the week has brought many assaults in the political and public arena on values we hold dear. May this time of quiet be an opportunity to touch peace within ourselves and tap into new springs of courage, resolve, and hope. We know that none of us alone can hold all that must be held or do all that must be done, but may each of us be led towards that work which is ours to do. And as a community, may we feel our strength together and use it for good the best we can. We also share these joys and concerns that are close to our hearts today. For ordinary people, including you and me, who are rising to the occasion and bringing the best that is in us as best we can, we give thanks. We close with a few more breaths in silence. May it be so. Amen. Please join us in singing Spirit of Life. The words will be on the screen.
Good morning. My name is Terry Donaldson, and my pronouns are she and her. Today, I'd like to invite us to reflect on how our UU values are brought to life in the soil, sun, and spirit of our volunteers in the Grow to Give garden. This small, fenced-in patch of earth is more than a place where vegetables flourish. It is a living expression of our commitment to justice, compassion, and generosity. It reflects our connection to the interdependent web of all existence. Just a very quick history of the Grow to Give garden for those who may not know about it. The Grow to Give garden, located in the back corner of our grounds, was created in 2012 for the express purpose of growing organic produce for donation to local food pantries. Its genesis was a project of the Long Island Community Agriculture Network, founded by UUFH member Fran Whittlesey, Larry Folia, and Heather Forrest. The project engaged 10 houses of worship in creating Grow to Give gardens to fight hunger and bring fresh food to people in need. Our Grow to Give garden celebrated its 10th anniversary in 2022, and we continue today, in our 13th year, to add to the hundreds of pounds of donated, locally grown organic produce. All that we can save from our squirrels, that is. And now I'd like to invite our children and youth to join me on the steps to talk about the Grow to Give garden. You guys can sit or stand, whatever feels comfortable. Good morning, happy to see you. Good morning, happy to see you. So I'd like to begin asking a few questions. Good morning, Soleil. Who knows about our Grow to Give garden? Before I gave you a brief history, who knows about our Grow to Give garden? Wonderful. You guys know about our garden? Wonderful. Who has visited our Grow to Give garden? Good, good. And here's the hard one. Who has volunteered or worked in our Grow to Give garden? Wonderful, wonderful. For many years, I've enjoyed leading our garden volunteers in welcoming our RE, our youngest volunteers in the garden. I just love sharing the magic of the garden with our children and youth. And I have a lot of funny, warm stories that come to mind when I think of our youth. One of them, I have been known to say to young people coming into the garden is magic. You know that, right? This little seed that gets put in the soil and grows into food that we can eat. Magic, right, Thomas? Well, one day when I said that, David Ryan, a much younger and much shorter David Ryan, snarkily said, "It's not magic, it's science." And I said to David, "You are right, it is science, but it's so much more." So we have a treat today to hear from our young people who would like to share maybe a memory they have from the Grow to Give garden or something they love about the Grow to Give garden. Jim has a mic. Anybody like to share? Millie?
My favorite.
Oh, uh-oh. Hang on, Millie. Step up or back? Forward? Okay. No. I know. Let's see. Let's turn that one off. There's the magic, yes. Yikes. Is that me, you guys? I know. All right. Turn it off. All righty. We'll go. You can stay there. Go, Millie.
One of my favorite memories was making the Bug Hotel. We made the Bug Hotel with a bunch of recycled materials like wood and metal and like other things we found around, and we created a place for bugs to live.
That's weird.
Bugs help get rid of other bugs that eat the plants, and they help us grow. And not even in the Bug Hotel, but under the Bug Hotel is a place for like worms who make the soil.
They definitely enrich the soil. Thanks, Millie. Ellie, would you like to share something? No. Oh, gosh. Soleil does. No. Sasha. No. Charlotte. Of course. Hendrik.
One of my best memories is that I did the ice sculptures with paint, and yeah.
That was a day we were teaching science in the Grove Garden, salt and ice with lots of colors. All right, Charlotte. Say again.
I think one of the things that I've liked most about the garden, I don't have a particular memory, is just learning about plants and what to plant when and all sorts of things like that. And it's been really fun working in the garden and seeing how much it's changed and kind of expanding. And we added beehives, now we have a native plant garden in the back, and all of those things I really like.
Thank you, Charlotte. Yes, please.
I also don't have a particular memory about the Go to Give Garden, but I really like how it's a great opportunity to give back to my community.
Nice. Thank you, Mari. Jean, do you want to say something? No? All right. I just want to thank our youngest volunteers. They come into our garden every summer, and we have a lot of fun, and we do a lot of learning. Thank you guys for all coming today. We'll sing our children to their classes. So you may be familiar with author, Professor Robin Wall Kimmerer's writings from her first book, Braiding Sweetgrass. I read her most recent book, The Serviceberry, and loved a concept she presented called a gift economy, a way to be in relationship in our communities. In The Serviceberry, Kimmerer explores the wisdom of her native Potawatomi traditions as she picks the berries of the serviceberry tree, considering all she will do with them. She considers her people's name for the berry, Bozakmin, min, the root of berry, but its meaning is gift. She says, in naming the plants who shower us with goodness, we recognize that these are gifts from our plant relatives, manifestations of the generosity, care, and creativity. When we speak of these not as things or products or commodities, but as gifts, the whole relationship changes. I can't help but gaze at them, cupped like jewels in my hand, and breathe out gratitude. In the presence of such gifts, gratitude is the intuitive first response. Gratitude is so much more than a polite thank you. It is the thread that connects us in a deep relationship, simultaneously physical and spiritual, as our bodies are fed and our spirits nourished by the sense of belonging, which is the most vital of foods. Gratitude creates a sense of abundance, the knowing that you have what you need. In that climate of sufficiency, our hunger for more abates, and we take only what we need in respect for the generosity of the giver. If our first response is gratitude, then our second is reciprocity, to give a gift in return. What could I give these plants in return for their generosity? She wonders. It could be a direct response like weeding or water, or a song of thanks that sends appreciation out on the wind. Or indirect, like donating to my local land trust so that more habitat for the gift givers will be saved. Or making art that invites others into the web of reciprocity. Gratitude and reciprocity are the currency of the gift economy, and they have the remarkable property of multiplying with every exchange, their energy concentrating as they pass from hand to hand, a truly renewable resource. I accept the gift from the bush, she says, and then spread that gift with a dish of berries to my neighbor who makes a pie to share with his friend who feels so wealthy in food and friendship that he volunteers at the food pantry. You know how it goes. And so it goes here on our UUFH grounds in our Grow to Give garden, conceived out of a need in our community and a recognition that with our abundance, we could reciprocate and generously share with our larger community. Our garden is rich with gifts, things given freely, beginning with sunshine, air, water, soil, and the hands tending the soil, planting the seeds, hands weeding and mending fences, building a shed to keep our tools dry, hands reaching into pockets, donating to our split plate, hands harvesting and delivering to Long Island Cares and the relationships that we have built with them. And they are building relationships with the people who come and receive the gifts of our garden to share with their families, to nourish themselves, so they may go out and learn and work and live in our community. This gifting, this flow of energy from hand to hand, this building of relationships brings me to the center of our UU values flower. Love. In our garden, we are growing love, creating love, gifting love to each other and to our larger community. We are participating in a gift economy. We are living our values.
Good morning. I am going to talk about the path from generosity and interdependence, which Terry and Judy have introduced, to transformation. I apologize for the wordy title, but bear with me. I will draw the circle to a close. So Terry, the children, and the author, Robin Wall Kimmerer, gave us wonderful insights into the ways that the Grow to Give garden manifests our commitment toward people in need, and how the practice of generosity deepened their understanding of the interdependency of our human lives, as well as with the interconnected lives of plants and animals on Earth. In 2022, a decade after the Grow to Give garden was started, those of us who volunteered in the garden began to shift our focus beyond the growing and giving of food to replenishing the soil based on scientific principles, which Terry alluded to, and to increasing the numbers and diversity of pollinator plants, birds, and insects, which was noted by Charlotte. 2 years later, in 2024, we expanded that vision to the entire 6 acres on which fellowship exists. And the essence of this expanded vision is to move beyond the taking of resources to replenishing, from consuming to reciprocating. And we are doing that by moving away from old landscaping practices towards more ecologically beneficial practices. And you can see this, not just in the Grow to Give garden, but in the native runway that runs along the honeybee hives, and in our protection of the nearly 200-year-old white oak tree out by the children's playground, in the refurbishing of the courtyard that we dedicated last month, and in the planting of 3 serviceberry shrubs in the memorial garden. The most recent example of this shift is the welcome garden out front by the main parking lot, and I know you've been monitoring its progress since March. This past spring, for those of you who may not have been here with us then, we removed approximately 2,500 square feet of lawn and replanted it with more than 200 native plants, including a 4th serviceberry. This garden will mature over the next few years into an ecological haven for birds, insects, and us, people. As we watch these plants grow, we will have the opportunity to witness this transformation from individual plants into an interconnected, interdependent network of relationships above and below the surface of the soil. Now, scientific research is finding that plants interact with soil, fungi, insects, birds, and other animals, including us, in a complex network of relationship that we are only beginning to understand. But while science continues to figure out the how and the why, we can experience that transformation in the same ways our ancestors did by observing and reflecting on the wisdom of the earth. Some of you may be asking, why are we doing this? There are so many social ills and political problems that demand our attention, our time, and our money. Here's my answer, and I think I speak for the many volunteers who work on this. Troubling times such as these make great demands on our spiritual resilience. And it is during times like this, when the outside world seems to be spiraling out of control, that it is wise to strengthen that resilience. And we can do that by tapping into the well springs of life itself. The buildings and grounds of this campus can be more than just a stage on which we walk, from the parking lot to the building and back, more than a place where we congregate, share potluck meals, and talk. Robin Wall Kimmerer, who was also a distinguished teaching professor of environmental biology at the SUNY College of Environmental Sciences at Syracuse, noted in her book, Braiding Sweetgrass, this: in the Apache language, the root word for land is the same as the word for mind. Gathering roots holds up a mirror between the damp of the earth and the map of our minds. At a certain angle of that mirror, the routes converge and we find our way back home. Earth-centered thinking is not a concept central to our Western-based culture, or even the form of capitalism we grew up with. Many of our religious and cultural traditions teach that man has dominion over earth and should exercise that power in service of human needs and desires. In that view, nearly everything in our relationship to the natural world is transactional. By contrast, as Kimmerer points out, many indigenous cultures hold a more nuanced view of the earth, in which the earth and its non-human inhabitants have a consciousness, an animating center, a soul, if you will. The notion of plundering natural resources without respecting the interdependent and generous web of life that created those resources is heretical to the indigenous way of living. At the start of every one of our services, such as today, we state our mission to reach beyond our walls to help heal the world. But to do that, we need strong roots, a place from which our spirituality can be renewed and issued forth, and in a way that respects the earth that sustains us and on which we depend. So what we're trying to do here is create havens on these grounds, places to reflect, to deepen our spirituality, to sustain our hearts. And this takes time. There's much we don't know. Many of us volunteer are relearning what ancient peoples learned ages ago. And as an aside, the average age of the volunteers working on this project is somewhere around 70 years. We may be getting up in age, but that's okay. We are learning. So in closing the circle, I would like to leave you with these wise words, again from Robin Wall Kimmerer and her book, Braiding Sweetgrass, in 2 separate sections. This one, she writes, I sat once in a graduate writing workshop on relationship to the land. The students all demonstrated a deep respect and affection for nature. They said that nature was the place where they experienced the greatest sense of belonging and well-being. They professed without reservation that they loved the earth. And then I asked them, do you think that the earth loves you back? No one was willing to answer that. It was as if I had brought a two-headed porcupine into the classroom. Unexpected, prickly. They backed slowly away. Here was a room full of writers, passionately wallowing in unrequited love of nature. So I made it hypothetical and asked, What do you suppose would happen if people believed this crazy notion that the earth loved them back? The floodgates open. They all wanted to talk at once. We were suddenly off the deep end and heading for world peace and perfect harmony. One student summed it up: you wouldn't harm what gives you love. Knowing that you love the earth changes you, activates you to defend and protect and celebrate. But when you feel that the earth loves you in return, that feeling transforms the relationship from a one-way street into a sacred bond. Now, to close the circle and return to the themes with which we started this service of interdependence and generosity. Again, from Kimmerer in Braiding Sweetgrass. In a garden, food arises from partnership. If I don't pick rocks and pull weeds, I'm not fulfilling my end of the bargain. I can do these things with my handy opposable thumb and capacity to use tools, to shovel manure, but I can no more create a tomato or embroider a trellis in beans than I can turn lead into gold. That is the plant's responsibility, and they're a gift, animating the inanimate. Now there is a gift. People often ask me what one thing I would recommend to restore relationship between land and people. My answer is almost always plant a garden. It's good for the health of the earth, and it's good for the health of the people. A garden is a nursery for nurturing connection, the soil of cultivation of practical reverence. And its power goes far beyond the garden gate. Once you develop a relationship with a little patch of earth, it becomes a seed itself. Thank you for listening.
I'm going to share with you a little bit about one of my favorite neo-pagan seasons, Mabon. It's the second to last season of the neo-pagan Wheel of the Year, beginning on the autumn equinox and ending on Samhain, also known as Halloween. It's ruled by air and water and represents the second harvest, which is a period of thoughtfulness, thankfulness, and celebration. The name Mabon was given to the holiday by Wiccan writer Aidan Kelly in honor of the Welsh deity. During this time, pagans give gifts of food and appreciation to their loved ones and prepare for the completion of the cycle of death and rebirth. As we draw near the darkest days, we honor resurrecting deities such as Balder, Dionysus, and the Oak and Holly King, thanking them for their sacrifice. But there's other holidays that celebrate the thankfulness we have for others in our community. And what better way to make someone feel appreciated than to acknowledge the very day they entered the world? Of course, I'm talking about birthdays, and our charity of the month, Birthday Wishes of Long Island. This organization sends cupcakes, decorations, and gifts to disadvantaged children in foster care or struggling with homelessness. As we honor the earth and the interconnected web of our community, please hold space to the children in your heart and give as you are able. Ushers will be passing the baskets while this video plays. For those of you at home, you can send a check to the office or donate through the website, Zelle, or PayPal. Thank you all for the support of the work we do within and beyond these walls. During the collection, please enjoy this Mabon ritual song by Lisa Thiel on the screen.
of the harvest as we draw near to the year's end. Now is the time of Mayborn, autumn is the time to descend. A woman waits patiently for us at the threshold of the labyrinth within. She offers her hand that we may understand the treasures that await a journey's end. Mother has given of her body, we give thanks for her fruit and her grain. We then clear the field so that next harvest yield be full and abundant again. A woman leads us through the darkness, our most ancient and trusted of friends. Carries the light of spiritual insight and leads us to our wisdom once again. And as we journey through the darkness, and as we continue to descend, learn to let go of what obscures our soul and rediscover our true being in the end. Oh, now is the time of the harvest as we draw near to the year's end. Now is the time of Mayborn, autumn is the time to descend. A woman waits patiently for us at the threshold of the labyrinth within. She offers her hand that we may understand the treasures that await a journey's end. The great mother has given of her body, we give thanks for her fruit and her grain. We then clear the field so that next harvest yield be full and abundant again. Darkness, our most ancient and trusted of friends. She carries the light of spiritual insight and leads us to our wisdom once again. And as we journey through the darkness, and as we continue to descend, learn to let go of what obscures our soul and rediscover our true being in the end. Oh, now is the time of the harvest as we draw near to the year's end. Now is the time of Mayborn, autumn is the time to descend.
I have a few announcements to make. The Pumpkin Queens would like you to know that sales are off to a great start. There are still many opportunities to help out at the patch, so please stop by the pumpkin table after service to sign up for a shift. Many thanks to all who have already helped. And there will also be a potluck after the service, so stick around for food and good company in the social hall. Our benediction today, I inspired from Canticle of the Sun by St. Francis. Blessed be the spirit of creation with all its creatures, brother sun, who is the day, and through whom gives us the light, beautiful and radiant with great splendor. Blessed be sister moon and the stars, formed clear and precious and beautiful. Blessed be brother wind, through the air, cloudy and serene, and every kind of weather that sustains us. Blessed be sister water and the precious force of life that heals and binds us all. Blessed be brother fire, who lights the night with beautiful power, playful and strong. Blessed be Mother Earth, who feeds us with her fruits and herbs. Blessed are those who nurture her, for they shall be crowned in flowers. Go in peace, all you children of the world. Carry the Spirit in your heart, and leave your stardust where you go. For you are the elements, and the Spirit is within you and around you. And where your seeds are planted, the future harvest will grow. So mote it be.